This video is brought to you by my new album entitled Dougal's Treats. It's full of hummable melodies, bluesy riffs and the occasional bit of virtuoso flashy stuff as well. If you enjoy bluesy rock guitar with memorable tunes and solos that wail like a banshee, then check out the links in the description. The premium version includes all of the tabs for each tune, videos and jam tracks as well. Thanks for listening, now on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. A little bit of minor key blues for you there. It has to be said with a bit of a funky edge to it because I was just in that sort of mood when I recorded it. And I've got no better reason than that really. But yeah, that's essentially what we're talking about today. Today's Monday, so we're doing a soloing lesson. And as you know, on Mondays at the moment, we're kind of alternating between melodic rock one week and blues the next. It's the turn of blues this week, as you probably gathered, and I thought I'd put the minor blues under the spotlight today. The reason being that the note choices that you often make when you're playing a blues in a minor key like that are often somewhat different to the note choices you would make if you're playing in a standard kind of 12-bar blues, you know, based on either major or usually dominant seventh chords. So I thought it was worthwhile talking about, and well, here's some information on what those note choices might be. Here
is the explanation.
Right, so this is broadly speaking the chord sequence that you heard in the solo earlier. I say broadly speaking because there were a few sort of extended and decorated versions of these chords, but that's basically the gist of it. And over the top of this, you can use the trusty old minor pentatonic, in this case D minor pentatonic, which will show that on the diagram there. Of course, this scale exists all over the neck, but just to kind of keep it all nice and tight in one area, and for the sake of clarity, we'll just show it there in the first position. You can see that the notes in the D minor pentatonic are D, F, G, A and C, and then it just starts again, D, F, G, A, C, D, and so on. Right, but there are other notes that we can find lurking within the chords. For example, the G minor 7th chord contains a B flat note. The notes in that chord are G, B flat, D and F. So when that chord comes along, we can add that note in. You can add it in elsewhere as well if you want, but it's going to sound really nice and resolved over the G minor 7th chord. So let's have a look at that. You can see I've colour-coded it in the chord sequence, and there are corresponding notes shown on the diagram. Essentially, if you know where an A note is, B flat, which is the note we're adding for this chord, is always 1 fret above it. Here's an example of me doing that at the relevant point over the chord sequence. Then there are other notes we can add. When we get to the first bar of the bottom row there, the home straight, really, there's a B flat 7th chord. Now the notes in that chord are B flat, D, F and A flat. So over that chord we can add an A flat, and once again you can see exactly where that note lives in the context of the diagram. Here's an example of me adding that note in at, well, you'll see there at the 13th fret on the 3rd string, just 1 fret above that G at the 12th fret. Here I am using that note over the B flat 7th chord. And of course that note is also what we would normally call the blue note, the flattened 5th note that you can add into a minor pentatonic as a sort of passing note at any point in pretty much any time you're using a minor pentatonic, but especially in a blues situation. The final note we're going to add is to do with the A7 chord, the 5 chord in this chord sequence. A7 consists of the notes A, C sharp, E and G. And, well, we can add the C sharp note in. We could add an E note in as well as if we wanted, but C sharp just has that little bit of an edge to it to my ears. So let's have a look at where it is. Again, a little bit of colour coding going on there. You can see C sharp is always going to be either 1 fret above a C or 1 fret below a D note rather. So here I am. I'm going to be playing over the final 3 bars where it's going to be going A7 to D minor to A7, and you'll notice both times the A7 comes along, I'm landing on the C sharp note, 1 fret below the D at the 12th fret on the 4th string, so that's at the 11th fret on that string. Here it is. So those are the approaches that I tend to take when I'm playing over a minor blues. Let's just scroll back. D minor pentatonic for the sort of general framework that I'm going to use to play over everything. Then at various points I'll throw in a B flat because it's part and parcel of the overall D natural minor scale, which is what the first 8 bars of this chord sequence will accept anyway. But really speaking, it just sounds particularly strong here over the G minor 7th chord. Then that B flat 7th chord contains a lovely A flat note, which is, as I say, is the blue note in this key anyway, and it's just a wonderful way of making what is ordinarily a very dissonant and spicy sounding note sound really resolved and consonant. And then we get to the 5 chord, the A7, that's got a C sharp note in it, and we can land on that. There it is there. Anywhere that you can find a D, the root note of the scale, 1 semitone or 1 fret below, you'll find the C sharp. And this starts to have little bits of connotations of harmonic minor scales and stuff that we looked at. Can't remember when it was. Was it a couple of weeks ago or a week ago when we were looking at the neoclassical style of rock guitar playing, of rock lead playing rather. So I digress. Those are the notes that I use when I'm playing a minor key blues. Now what you need to do is go and find those notes everywhere you can in the context of all of your other D minor pentatonic boxes. And as I forgot to say in that little clip there, now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. You can do that by heading off over to my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description, and grabbing the tab for the solo that we opened the video with in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats. The clip of me playing the solo, that explanation you've just seen there, and the jam track to play along with yourself. All of this goodness comes to £3 or $3 or about £3 a month, and you know, all of the tabs and jam tracks and other goodies and bits and pieces that go along with these videos, that's where you'll find all of that. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it informative and useful in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like while you're at it? Every little helps. Don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and just talk about whatever we talk about, basically. Beer and chat on a Friday, it's as simple as that, but it's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.